If you've driven by the Ilig or Pago Bays lately, you've noticed that so much muddy water is flowing into them from the rivers that the bays look like they're filled with chocolate milk. Department of Agriculture biologist Brent Tibbetts explains.
In the sedimentations you're seeing is usually red clay or something being carried from inland. There can be a lot of sources of red clay inland. There can be clearing due to fires, can be clearing due to development, can be clearing due to off-roading or farming. Those are all places where if vegetation is cleared away, soil is left exposed and then can be washed away by the rain.
All this soil is then washed into the rivers, and from the rivers into the ocean. Once in the ocean, all this mud and sedimentation chokes the coral and causes major damage to the ocean's ecosystem.
Too much mud in the water can do several things. It can settle on corals and cause corals to not do well. They need to have clear water, a lot of light, and low nutrients to survive.
The mud also settles on the bottom, smothering food sources for various marine life. It's not just the mud that causes problems. Tibbetts explains that the nutrients in the soil cause more algae to grow, algae that covers and also chokes out the coral. The coral creates an entire ecosystem for fish and all sorts of marine life to live in. While some sedimentation and soil runoff is normal for Guam because of its rainy climate, Tibbetts explains that the island's rainfall over the first 6 months of the year has been 30% higher than average. Still, aside from this increased rain, Tibbetts says that over the years they have noticed an increase of mud and sedimentation in certain areas.
Some places there certainly seems to be an increase. There are places that in the last few years you see muddy plumes coming out of rivers where we didn't really notice them before.
For example, the Talifac River in Agate and the Ilig River in Jotnya. All of this erosion of soil also takes away the rich topsoil, creating badlands where nothing can grow. So how can you prevent all of this erosion and soil runoff?
Don't burn plant vegetation. If you're involved with clearing, either for farming or for something else, make sure that all proper environmental controls are in place to help keep the mud in place, the soil in place, so it doesn't get washed out. If you're construction, make sure that all sediment controls are in place at any kind of construction site.